Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karuna Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvara. Okay, all right. So last time we saw a few sutras. So let's just review what we did last time. Last time we did sutras 49, 50, 51, and 52. So what topic got over? That person alone crosses Maya. Who is the person who crosses Maya? So we summed up the qualifications. Some of them are the one who has the ability to be on their own. The one who has the ability to let go of the results of actions. The one who has the ability to be beyond dualities. The one who has the ability to think of Bhagavan in unbroken flow. So there were 12 such qualities of the one who's able to cross Maya. Then we started the section of this love, this bhakti, that supreme love. And we saw sutras 51 and 52 saying that bhakti is anirvachaniya. Bhakti cannot be explained. Because love cannot be explained, right? Sometimes ignoring someone is love, but also paying attention to someone is love. Sometimes smiling at someone is love, but sometimes also not smiling is love. So love is inexplicable. So what to talk of bhakti? Bhakti is this devotion which we cannot describe, but we can express. So we saw also it's mukha swadhanavat, means it's as if expecting a mute person to talk. Bhakti is as though expecting a mute person to talk. The mute person has a tongue to taste, but no tongue to talk. So this bhakti can be very deep. But now, how does one become a recipient of that bhakti? So we're going to see Sutra number 53 today. Okay? Sutra number 53. Prakashate kwapi patre. Prakashate kwapi patre. So bhakti prakashate. Prakashate means it comes to express. Prakashate. Where kwapi patre, in some patra. Patra means a recipient. So kwapi patre. The etymology for patra is patanat trayate iti. That which protects one from falling is a patra. So this supreme bhakti that we saw last week, it expresses in one who is a recipient. So now, what does it mean to be a recipient of devotion? What does it mean to be a recipient of Bhagavan? So the first thing is emptying ourselves of all of our selfish intentions. Last week, I gave you a practical tip that if we still have some selfish desires, what should we do? 4 + 1. Pray for 4 selfless things for other people, and then we can ask for one little itty bitty desire. So if there's still a little selfish desire in me, it's okay. But first pray for 4 selfless things. Then pray for oneself. So the first way of really becoming a recipient of this bhakti is cleanse away that selfishness. Cleanse away that selfishness. The second is to live that life of dedication. So keeping Bhagavan, keeping my life centered in Bhagavan. And these we've seen in many, many ways. Keeping our lives centered in that, everything dedicated to that. Thinking about Bhagavan, seeing Bhagavan, hearing, smelling, tasting, everything dedicated to Bhagavan. And the third thing is the way that my life is, the way that I function changes. So I, as a seeker, I move from willing to tuning. This movement from willing to tuning is the movement of a bhakta. When we are on our own, what happens is we will, we want certain things to happen. So we have our own minds, we have our own ideas, our desires, our wants. And we say, I want it to happen like this. I want this to happen like that. And I see my future being like this. And we plan and we make pictures and we do all kinds of things with our own will. And in the beginning, this is good, but at some point in time, what a bhakta does is they withdraw their will. They withdraw their will and they silence their mind and say, okay, Bhagavan, now you guide me. The spirit of, some people think that the bhakta spirit of surrender to Bhagavan, not that they don't do anything. It's that they tune into Bhagavan, what Bhagavan wants, and they're guided by that. So a bhakta, true bhakta, has to withdraw their own will. From willing, withdraw that will and change it to tuning. Change it to tuning. I'm able to change it to tuning when we are very, very firm in our japa, in our spiritual practice, and we build that relationship with Bhagavan. Then what happens is, in our silent moments, everything becomes revealed to us. So whatever answers we're searching, whatever we're not sure of, everything in those moments become revealed to us. So this is what it means to be a vessel. We don't will on our own. We don't desire on our own. We don't want on our own. But we withdraw everything to that higher power in us, to that Bhagavan. And we make our minds open. We make our minds open. And in that silence, all the guidance comes. Then one is able to become a patra, a vessel, and truly live out that divine plan that Bhagavan has set out for us. I'm sure I've told you this story before, but I think this is very relevant here. There was a great king, great king. And he said, I want to renovate my palace. I want to renovate my palace. And I have 2 walls here in my palace. And therefore, I'm going to ask 2 painters to come and paint. So one painter came, and on the right wall, he started painting. And on the left wall, another painter started painting, and they put a curtain in between because the king said, let it be a surprise. So the person on the right was painting such amazing, amazing pictures, beautiful scenery, beautiful scenery. The person on the left, you couldn't really make out what he was painting, what he was doing. And finally, it was time to see, to reveal both paintings. So the curtain was taken out. And when the king looked at the right, he saw, wow, magnificent scenery with waterfalls, with rocks, with the clouds, the sun, the sky. It was just very breathtaking. And the king looked to the left. There was no painting. There was no painting. But what happened was that second painter, what he did was he brushed the wall so well, so nicely, that the left wall perfectly reflected the painting on the right wall. perfectly. So that is the dharma of Ishvara and Jiva. Ishvara's darshan or Ishvara's dharma is to paint pictures for us, lay out our lives for us, because Ishvara knows how best we can evolve. So Ishvara's dharma is to just paint that picture for us. But Jiva's dharma is to clean ourselves, purify ourselves, make ourselves fit vessels so that in our pure moments, we're able to actually reflect the painting that Ishvara has for us. Last week when we met, I remember asking all of you that did you really think that your life would pan out the way it did? Right? If we are left up to ourselves to plan our lives, how limited is our thinking? Huh? How limited are the people we know, the places we know, the things we know, the situations and the experiences? If you and I were left to plan out our lives, it would be actually honestly terrible because we have so many limitations. But when we leave it in the hands of Bhagavan to just paint all kinds of pictures and colors and shapes and forms, it can take unlimited pictures. It can be a masterpiece. So this is what it means to be a patra, a vessel. And when we become a vessel, then that bhakti shines forth, shines. Now, what is the characteristic of this bhakti? This, again, we're talking about supreme bhakti. How does one know if they have supreme bhakti? So here now, Sutra 54. Gunarahitam, gunarahitam, kamanarahitam, kamanarahitam, pratikshanavardhamanam, pratikshanavardhamanam, avichinnam, avichinnam, sukshmataram, sukshmataram, anubhavarupam, anubhavarupam. So this bhakti has 6 qualities. One is it's gunarahitam, it's without attributes. Kamanarahitam, it's without the poison of desires. Pratikshana vardhamanam, every moment it grows. Avichinnam, it is unbroken. Sukshmataram, it's subtle. And anubhava rupam, it's of the nature of immediate experience. So what does gunarahitam mean? That this love for Bhagavan is not for any reason. It's just because it's love. Some people worship Bhagavan for their tamasic means, because they want to hurt someone or harm someone. So they do so much tapasya, so that they can hurt someone, harm someone, do something negative. This is like our Ravanas. Some people worship Bhagavan for their own welfare, rajasic bhakti, where it is for my own financial status, my health. This event is coming, please help it go well, for my career, all kinds of things we worship Bhagavan for. Rajasic bhakti. Sattvic bhakti is worshipping Bhagavan for, we want purity of mind, we even want moksha, we want to be in some loka. This is all called secondary bhakti, and it will come when we see the gauna bhakti. But this supreme bhakti is gunarahitam. Not even that desire of moksha, not even the desire of going to a loka, not even the desire of having a pure mind. It's Bhagavan, I just love you. That's it. I love listening to your glories. I love being with you. I love just being immersed in you. There's no other reason. There's no other reason. I'm not thinking about anything else, but I just want to be with you. So, guna rahitam, beyond sattva, rajas, and tamas. And because it's guna rahitam, it's kamana rahitam, means it's free from desires. It's free from desires. Desires pollute our bhakti, you know. You know how it feels when somebody's very nice to you and you can already gauge, oh, they want something. What is it that you what is it that you want, right? So people can already gauge that. You're like, yeah, I know you want something. What is it? But when somebody just loves you purely, just wants to know, how are you? How's everything? What's happening? You can feel the purity of that love. Hmm? So Bhagavan, that bhakta has that kamana rahita, pure love. And this we can see in Bharatji. So today is Ram Navami. So I wanted to share some nice chopai from Bharatji, how he felt. Now, first I'll give you the context. So the context is that Sri Rama and Sita Devi had left Ayodhya. This is after Kaikai wanted her boons. So Sri Rama and Sita Devi left. They left with Lakshmanji, and Bharat was away. Bharatji was away, and he came to find out now. He found out that they left for the forest. And now he wants to go in search of them. So just see how beautifully he speaks. So this is Bharatji. Let me just. Okay. So here he says, Arthan dharmana kama ruchi, gati na chaho niraban, janama janama rati rama pada, yah baradanu na aan. So he says, I have no liking for arth, no wealth, dharma also. I don't have any liking for dharma, no liking for kama, no ruchi. Nor no gati, means he doesn't even want that moksha. Gati na chaho nirban. He doesn't want moksha at all. And he says, birth after birth, let me just have devotion to the feet of Sri Ram. Janama janama rati Rama pada. Yaha baradanuna aman. He said, I ask nothing else. Doesn't want any, so not even the 4 purusharthas. Then what does he say? He says, Janahu Rama Kutila Kari Mohi, Loga Kaho Guru Sahiba Drohi, Sita Rama Charana Rati More, Anudina Badahu Anugraha Tore. So, Bharat's, we might think that Bharatji, at least maybe he might want Sri Rama to be okay with him, because he didn't do anything wrong. He really didn't do anything wrong. So maybe he wants Sri Rama to be at peace with him. But he says, not even that. Janahu Ramu Kutila Kare Mohi. He says, let people call me an enemy. Let Sri Rama take me for a wicked fellow. It's okay. He doesn't even want to be peaceful in the eyes of Bhagavan. Sometimes a bhakta has a desire, at least let Bhagavan also love me. Let Bhagavan also care for me. That desire might be there, but that was not even there for Bharat. He says, all I want is Sita Rama Charana Rati More. All I want is devotion to the feet of Sita and Sri Rama. And not only that, Anudina Badao Anugraha Tore. Let it keep growing day by day. Let it keep growing day by day. So this is how pure Bharatji's love was. And he gives this example of a Chataka bird. This Chataka bird is only able to drink rainwater. So here it says, Jaladu Janama Bhari Surati Visaru Ja Chata Jalu Pabi Pahana Daro Chataku Ratani Gate Gati Jai Pade premu sab bhati balai. Says the cloud may neglect the bird because the bird is just waiting to drink water from the cloud. And all it's just, while it's asking for water, the clouds may discharge a thunderbolt and hail. But the bird, will fall in estimation if it still ceases to call out to the cloud. So, which means that even if that happens, the bird will not cease calling to the cloud. Bird will still call out to the cloud. It still intensifies its love, even if that cloud doesn't even recognize. So, Kamana Rahitam is that bhakti doesn't have the sight of any of the four purusharthas, nor does it even have let my Bhagavan be pleased with me. Let my Bhagavan answer my prayers. Let my Bhagavan look at me. Nothing like that. So, Guna Rahitam, Kamana Rahitam. Then the third characteristic of that supreme bhakti is Pratiksha Vardhamanam. Means every moment that bhakti grows. It is a growing kind of bhakti. So the intensity increases day by day. And day by day, we find new ways to please Bhagavan. To please Bhagavan, to sing, to dance, to read, to contemplate, to meditate. Day by day, our love increases for Bhagavan. Day by day, we find something new to do for Bhagavan. And every time when it comes to the worship of Bhagavan, we are fresh. Pratikshna Vardhamana means, every time that we don't, if we're sleepy, if we're tired, we don't worship when we're sleepy, we're tired, we're always fresh. So when we love somebody, what happens? When we know they're coming over, we always want to be fresh. We don't want to be like dragging and looking like crazy and, everything's a mess. When we love someone and they're coming to visit us, everything looks beautiful, everything looks fresh, everything looks beautiful. And in a beautiful relationship with anybody, we don't need to have so many different relationships actually. In a true relationship with someone, if you're very, very close, then you will have this quality of pratikshna vardhama, always finding something new, a new way to love this person, a new way to give to this person, a new way to be there for this person, a new thing you can do together. And if the relationship is kept like this, then it's very fresh. So in the same way, that relationship with Bhagavan is pratikshana vardhamana. Then that bhakti is avichinnam. Avichinnam means unbroken. Our bhakti right now is broken. It's broken because sometimes we're very, very much into it, but the minute we go into the world, go do things, we forget. It's like it breaks. Our bhakti breaks. It's not a continuous flow. It's not a continuous underlying thread throughout everything we do. That bhakti, which is unbroken, is real bhakti, which is there in every single thing, in the way we walk, in the way we talk, in the way we sit, in the way we stand, the way we eat, the way we chant. It's there. But what happens is our bhakti, it gets broken. At times, we feel disconnected from Bhagavan. Sometimes we feel close. Sometimes we feel far. Sometimes we don't even know if we're close or far. We don't even know. Avichinna. And this bhakti is also sukshmataram. Sukshmataram means Gurudev had said that subtlety is measured by its pervasiveness. So the subtler something is, the more pervasive it is. So when we say, I love Bhagavan, it means I love all. I start to love all. So a great expression of bhakti is the ability to accommodate, to expand, to love all, to start seeing that form of Bhagavan everywhere. in everything. It pervades everyone. And Anubhava Rupam. That bhakti is directly experienced by us. Directly experienced by us. One great example of bhakti from Ramayana is Vibhishan. How Vibhishan. What happened was Vibhishan, he became, keeping these two sutras in mind, he became such a fit vessel. And it was how Vibhishan survived in Lanka was only due to his bhakti. In Ramayana, it says that Vibhishan was like a tongue in between the teeth. The teeth are so sharp, it can bite and it can crunch anything. But the tongue is so soft. And so in Lanka, full of asuras and rakshasas, Vibhishan was right there. But what kept him so pure, despite his environment, was the name of Sri Ram, the thought of Sri Ram, the relationship with Sri Ram. He kept that relationship. And so when Ravana asked him for advice, he said, Vibhishan said, I advise you to surrender to Sri Ram. He's the Lord of all these worlds. He's powerful and strong. What you have done, Ravana, is very wrong. Very wrong. Surrender to the feet of Sri Ram. So first of all, Vibhishan had such courage to stand up to his own brother, Ravana. And Ravana kicked him. Ravana kicked Vibhishan. And Vibhishan left and he went to Sri Ram. And on his way to Sri Ram, all other monkeys were thinking, Vibhishan is a spy. He's a spy. Why is he coming here? He's from the Rakshasa side. But Sri Rama looked at him and said, Vibhishan, if you have come to take refuge in me, then I accept you. I accept you. Because Vibhishan went as himself, so pure as himself. Not even Hanumanji did that. Hanumanji, when he met Sri Rama, he took a disguise. He took a form of a Brahmana. And that's why when Sri Rama met Hanumanji, he didn't hug him. Only when Hanumanji came out of his disguise as Hanumanji, then Sri Rama hugged him. So Vibhishanji was a great vessel because right away he surrendered to Sri Ram. And in and through his stay in Lanka, he kept his bhakti unbroken, avichinna. And because it was unbroken and he directly experienced it, he felt it, he was saved by Sri Ram. So all of this is what we call supreme bhakti. Supreme bhakti. And one might ask, from our level, how do we build this supreme bhakti? The first step is we must have an Ishta Devata, which many of us do, an Ishta Devata. The second is have a sadhana for that Ishta Devata every day. Have a sadhana specifically for that Ishta Devata, whether it's a puja, whether it's a japa. And the third step is form a bond with this Ishta Devata. What is this Ishta Devata to you? One Mahatma told me, Shraddha means I believe in God. Bhakti means he is my God. Bhakti means he is mine. She is mine. So what is our relationship with this Bhagavan? Is it Bhagavan as a guru? Is it Bhagavan as a mother or a father? Is it Bhagavan as a friend? What is our relationship? When we have our lives, then with an Ishta Devata, with proper sadhana, and a proper relationship, a proper connection, then this bhakti becomes very easy to practice. And we actually feel the presence of Bhagavan in our lives. Okay, So we will stop here.